Imagine stepping into a strange new world, 30,000 years ago, in a cave deep within what will later become France. The fire crackles, its flickering light casting dancing shadows on the limestone walls. But amidst this scene, an astonishing image appears. An elderly woman, with weathered hands yet full of experience, carefully rotates a sharp wooden stick over controlled flames. No, she's not cooking a typical dinner. She's performing a delicate task, an art form of food preparation that modern food scientists would still marvel at. Chances are the image you have of prehistoric people is one of wild, uncivilized beings gnawing on raw mammoth meat, surviving in caves, and barely scraping by. But the truth is far more fascinating. These prehistoric people we once imagined as mere survivors were in fact culinary masters and food scientists. They didn't just eat to survive, they cooked to enjoy, to explore, and most importantly, to sustain their health in a harsh world. Let me take you on a journey through time, where food wasn't just a source of survival energy, but a complex system of creativity and knowledge. Tools such as grinding stones, cooking stones, and advanced cooking methods from prehistoric times not only served the purpose of feeding them, but reflected their profound understanding of food science and food chemistry. Why call it food chemistry? Because what we've discovered from archaeological traces shows that prehistoric humans knew how to transform available natural resources. They didn't just gather food from the forests or fields. They knew how to soften tough foods, process toxic plants into nourishing meals, and even create foods with medicinal properties. They practiced a sophisticated food system, combining ingredients to boost health, a refinement that we are only beginning to rediscover. This wasn't random survival. This was culinary science performed by the skilled hands of our ancestors. They didn't just survive, they thrived through creative food preparation. Surely, when you think of prehistoric humans, you'll no longer see them as desperate people merely trying to exist, but as scientists and artists of food from an ancient age. When we talk about food preparation, we cannot overlook the advanced techniques they developed over millennia, from roasting meat, steaming food, to more intricate processes such as fermentation, soaking, or baking in earth ovens. These methods were honed and perfected by generations, showing an uninterrupted creativity in using natural resources. They didn't just cook food randomly. Each meal was a scientific process, a deep understanding of how to extract maximum nutritional value, ensuring the survival of their communities. When you look at their tools, you see not just primitive instruments, but finely crafted implements designed for specific purposes. These grinding stones were not used just to clean food. They were carefully selected for their properties to suit different types of food. The ceramic vessels, stone tools, all were crafted with precise knowledge of the required temperatures and cooking times for different foods. This was not an accident, but a comprehensive system of knowledge, a science developed over thousands of years. So what do you think of prehistoric people now? Were they primitive hunters desperately scavenging for food? Or were they true food scientists creating meals so sophisticated that even modern chefs would be in awe? The answer lies in the archaeological evidence, which proves that our ancestors were not only surviving, but they were mastering food science, transforming raw ingredients into edible, nutritious meals. Let's not forget that cooking wasn't just about feeding the body, it was about feeding the soul, creating food that nourished both the body and the spirit. And now, when you think of food, remember that each dish connects you to ancient wisdom, the same knowledge passed down through generations from those who mastered the art of cooking long before we even understood what it meant to be a chef. This piece doesn't just challenge the conventional view of prehistoric humans, it opens a whole new world, where cooking is not just about sustenance, but an art form, a science, and a precious cultural heritage. Now, when you sit down to your favorite meal, perhaps you'll realize that what you're eating is more than just food. It's a legacy, an ancient art of cooking passed down through generations, a culinary revolution that began with the first controlled fire 300,000 years ago.
After exploring prehistoric life through food preparation, important archaeological discoveries have completely changed our understanding of our ancestors. These pieces of evidence not only confirm that prehistoric humans survived by hunting and foraging, but also prove that they possessed a very sophisticated knowledge of culinary arts and food processing. Studies from dental calculus, fossilized clack-on teeth, of Neanderthals and early humans have provided deep insights into their diets. The food traces found in the calculus were not random, but the result of intentional and thoughtful food selection and preparation. Archaeologists have discovered remnants of over 40 different plant species used by prehistoric humans, many of which required complex processing to become edible or medicinal. This wasn't merely food gathering. This was food science, practiced intentionally and with knowledge. One of the most remarkable discoveries is the presence of toxic plants, such as bitter almonds and wild grasses, which contain harmful compounds like cyanide. However, our ancestors did not just know about these toxic foods, they developed processing methods to eliminate the toxins and make them safe for consumption. This demonstrates their sophisticated understanding of biochemistry, knowing how harmful substances could be transformed into nutrients through careful preparation. In addition, discoveries of food processing tools such as grinding stones, scrapers, and ceramic vessels revealed the meticulous selection and use of materials to prepare food. These tools were not just used to crush or peel food, but also showed a specialization in each food preparation stage. The use of ceramic vessels for cooking also suggests their understanding of temperature control and methods such as fermentation, which help make food more digestible, increase nutritional value, or even turn inedible plants into nourishing meals. These discoveries not only serve as evidence of food preparation, but also suggest that our ancestors might have developed a form of medicinal plants from natural resources. Analysis of dental calculus reveals that Neanderthals regularly consumed plants like chamomile and yarrow, which have no nutritional value but are known for their anti-inflammatory and healing properties. This indicates that our ancestors not only mastered food preparation, but also created an early form of medicine from natural resources, testifying to their understanding of pharmacology long before it was formalized in modern science. All of these findings not only provide evidence of the prehistoric human diet, but also reveal a vast world of knowledge where food science was applied to overcome nature's toughest challenges. This knowledge was not random, it was the result of crafting and improving over thousands of years, demonstrating the intelligence, creativity, and remarkable adaptability of prehistoric humans.
Applications of archaeological discoveries in modern life. The archaeological discoveries about prehistoric food preparation are not just remnants of the past, but also have very important applications in modern life. Through these studies, we can learn and apply many advanced food processing methods, while also gaining a deeper understanding of how our ancestors dealt with the harsh conditions of nature. One of the most important applications is the use of medicinal plants. The food systems of prehistoric humans not only included basic foods for survival, but also contained sophisticated methods of healing, from using chamomile to reduce inflammation to yarrow for wound healing. This knowledge not only helps us understand the power of nature, but also opens the door for developing natural healing methods, useful in treating health conditions without relying on pharmaceuticals. Additionally, the food processing methods of prehistoric humans have proven to be applicable to modern processing techniques. For example, methods such as fermentation, soaking, and heat treatment were used by our ancestors to enhance the nutritional value of foods and preserve them for long periods without the need for preservatives. These discoveries provide the foundation for developing ready-to-eat foods and natural preservation products in the modern food industry. Nutritional knowledge is also a key highlight in these archaeological findings. Prehistoric humans didn't just search for food, but knew how to combine foods to optimize nutritional value. Their use of nutrient-rich foods like nuts, wild fruits, and edible plants to ensure that the body received enough energy and vitamins has expanded our understanding of healthy diets. These lessons can be applied in building balanced diets today, especially in the context of climate change and food issues. Finally, these discoveries not only clarify our ancestors' ability to prepare food, but also reflect their unceasing creativity in optimizing natural resources. We can learn from their methods in sustaining and protecting the environment. Our ancestors understood that wisely harvesting and utilizing natural resources ensured not only survival, but also the protection of the planet from depletion. Their lessons on sustainability and resource management can still be applied to modern environmental protection strategies. Therefore, through these archaeological discoveries, we not only understand more about our ancestors' lives, but also realize that what they did can offer solutions to the problems that the modern world faces today.
The archaeological discoveries about prehistoric life not only provide us with a clear understanding of our ancestors' survival abilities, but also impart valuable lessons about creativity, patience, and adaptability. The knowledge of food preparation, medicinal plant use, and resource management helped humans survive for thousands of years. And today, these lessons can still be applied in many fields, from medicine and nutrition to environmental protection. One of the most important lessons we can learn from our ancestors is their creativity in utilizing natural resources. They knew how to exploit plants, animals, and minerals sustainably to meet daily needs, while also protecting the long-term growth of ecosystems. They didn't just seek food, they also found ways to transform food to serve different purposes, such as healing, preserving, or enhancing health. Their understanding and use of natural laws in food processing were the foundation for modern food production methods that we still use today. From these studies, we also realized that our ancestors survived not just through simple tools, but also by developing sophisticated food processing techniques that were as advanced as modern methods. Food processing wasn't just a survival action, it was a refinement and scientific control process. They understood that each type of food required a different preparation method to optimize nutrition, protect health, and ensure long-term sustainability. Furthermore, archaeological findings related to food preservation show that prehistoric humans developed highly advanced methods of preserving food, such as fermentation and drying. These methods not only helped them store food for extended periods, but also enhanced its nutritional value, which today we refer to as superfoods. They understood that proper preservation could ensure a steady food supply during scarce seasons and provide essential nutrition. Finally, the most important lesson we can draw from these discoveries is the preservation of ancient knowledge. The food processing techniques, herbal uses, preservation methods, and resource management systems were passed down through generations, becoming a valuable cultural heritage that we need to protect. While modern society is rapidly advancing and technology is changing daily, these ancient insights remain particularly relevant in helping us address today's global challenges. By studying and applying the lessons from the past, we can find sustainable and smart solutions for food, health, and environmental issues. In the future, preserving and developing these traditional knowledge systems will not only help us better understand our ancestors, but also contribute to building a modern world in harmony with nature, where humans can thrive and develop without harming the environment. By embracing the lessons from the past, we can create a sustainable future that nurtures both humanity and the planet.
Five, the importance of preserving cultural heritage and exploring human potential for the future. Archaeological discoveries not only help us understand the past, but also open a door to untapped potential for humanity's future. Studying how our ancestors faced survival challenges is not merely about seeking survival, but discovering sustainable solutions to the problems we face today, especially in the context of climate change and resource depletion. One of the most important lessons we can learn from the past is human creativity without limits. prehistoric humans had to cope with harsh natural conditions, from long, cold winters to constantly changing environments. However, instead of being passive, they refined and improved their food preparation methods and health protection. From transforming harmful foods into safe meals to developing preservation techniques to survive scarce seasons, they demonstrated that creativity was a crucial factor in human survival and sustainable development. This brings an important message for the modern world. Humans are not just survivors, but also innovators and continuous creators. We can learn from ancient techniques to develop creative solutions for the issues humanity is facing, such as how to mitigate the effects of climate change, improve food quality, and protect the environment. Our ancestors found ways to master nature, not only to survive, but also to thrive. They learned how to exploit and use resources wisely and sustainably, and we can do the same in the modern world. Moreover, preserving cultural heritage not only connects us to the past, but also brings practical values to the present and future. The food processing and resource management methods our ancestors developed are valuable lessons that we can apply to build a sustainable world. These studies also emphasize the importance of preserving and promoting traditional cultural values, which help us maintain the diversity and richness of the resources on this planet. Looking further ahead, the future of humanity will depend on our ability to cooperate and innovate, just as our ancestors did. We need to learn how to work together, share knowledge and resources, and most importantly, protect this planet for future generations. As the world increasingly faces great challenges, such as climate change, loss of biodiversity, and resource crises, the lessons about community cooperation and creative resource management will be the key to creating a sustainable world. Therefore, archaeological discoveries not only help us look back at the past, but also open a promising future where humans not only survive, but also thrive, not just live, but develop strongly and sustainably. The creativity and knowledge of our ancestors will always be the solid foundation to help us solve today's problems and prepare for a better future.
The archaeological discoveries about prehistoric life not only provide us with deep insights into how our ancestors survived in harsh conditions, but also offer valuable lessons for the modern world. Their knowledge of food preparation, medicinal plant use, resource preservation, and social organization not only helped them survive, but also laid a solid foundation for sustainable development in the future. Looking back at the past, we can see that the techniques and methods developed by prehistoric humans were not just responses to circumstances, but also examples of creativity and scientific thinking. They knew how to exploit and protect natural resources intelligently, creating a sustainable civilization even without modern technology. The lessons of sustainability, creativity, and perseverance from our ancestors remain valuable today and can help us solve today's challenges, from the climate crisis to biodiversity conservation and resource management. Preserving and enhancing ancient knowledge is not only a way to connect with the past, but also a crucial step in creating a sustainable future where humanity can live in harmony with nature, innovate solutions for global challenges, and continue to sustain and develop cultural and scientific values accumulated over millennia. Therefore, instead of merely observing the remnants left behind, we need to understand and learn from what our ancestors accomplished. They didn't just survive, they thrived through creativity and a profound understanding of the world around them. The journey of humankind through the ages is a testament to resilience, creativity, and the unceasing desire for progress. And these lessons will continue to guide us as we build a better future for all.